Christian Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Disrupted Journey, Walking with Your Loved One Through Chronic Pain and Illness, by Nate Brooks. Narrated by Adam Verner. Introduction. I don't know the specific story that has led you to pick out this book, friend. I doubt that you ever expected to be listening to a book on your place in the mystifying world of chronic pain and illness. I certainly never imagined I would write one. But the fact is that you're here. And that means that you and I have watched Plan A for our lives evaporate, replaced by Plan B, or Plan C, or some other letter terrifyingly deep in the alphabet. I want to start by telling you I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this is the path you must walk. I'm sorry you have to watch your loved ones suffer. I'm sorry that you suffer in 100 often unseen ways as well. One day a couple thousand years ago, Jesus was asked by a lawyer what he considered to be the most important commandment given by God. Love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, he said. That sounds so simple, doesn't it? But we know from our experience that simple commands often prove to be the hardest of all to follow, even in the best of times. This book is a meditation on trying to faithfully live out those oh-so-simple-sounding commands when life veers far away from being the best of times. How do we love God when He, in His providence, has allowed life-altering pain and illness into our loved one's life? And how do we love our loved one well when they are wrestling with their whole world being turned upside down? If you're there, my hope is to offer you encouragement through this little volume. Those who suffer from chronic pain and illness often express that they feel forgotten or unseen by those around them. I'm grateful that more resources are becoming available to support those whose bodies feel deeply the sting of the curse. But for every person whose life is crumbling due to chronic pain or illness, there is at least one other person who loves them and must wrestle, too, with the reality of their own lives turning out very differently than they expected. If your life has been changed and disrupted by the suffering of someone you love, this book is for you. I can't say I'm an expert on everything you've gone through and are going through. There are many whose lives are more difficult than mine. But I hope we can walk together for a little while on this path and encourage each other. Watching my own house burn down. I am by vocation a counselor and professor. I specialize in caring for individuals and families caught in cycles of abuse and trauma. As such, my life is often a front-row seat to the terrible evils that people suffer from and inflict on one another. I've often thought that counselors and firefighters have a lot in common. We run into burning buildings to help, then retire to the station once the task is done. But this book doesn't come from that professional place. This book isn't the equivalent of a book by a firefighter on the methods of extinguishing residential blazes. It's a meditation from a firefighter who has watched his own house burn down and been unable to stop it. My wife, Kate, and I met at a tiny high school on the central coast of California. It took me 10 years to ask her out, but once I did, I quickly realized that I should have used that past decade quite differently. She was the best of everything I never knew I needed. Daring, spunky, always on the edge of doing something just a bit crazy. She sang, she danced, she spoke her mind. Her love for Jesus radiated out from every fiber of her being. We tied the knot on one excessively warm afternoon in June 2013. Little did we know that the defining 2 words for the next 11 years and counting would be chronic pain. Our descent into that world began just 6 months after that happy day, and we've never made it back out of the hole. I don't always know how best to describe what's gone wrong. There are so many levels that undoubtedly you experience as well. I could talk about medical details, a path littered with all manner of doctors and medications and hopes raised and dashed over and over again. Gone are the days of running together, the lengthy hikes in the woods,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?